All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Michael Phoenix casting a replay for a fan. I do appreciate you sending this through, Thomas. It is a turbo mode game, which is one I don't believe I've ever casted. So we'll have to see how that goes. Generally, we're casting pro games and normal rank games for that matter, but it'll be a turbo mode game this time around. At the very least, it does probably mean that we're gonna have some pretty fast gameplay going around, which I don't mind whatsoever, because sometimes when you're casting normal games, they tend to go really slow, which is somewhat annoying. But this time around, it will not be the case. It's good to see. We already see a bit of an engagement going on at the top lane. Crusader, it's going to say hello to Hardhome. JJ is there as well. They're going to try and get this bounty rune right now. Crusader, he does manage to pick it up, but he's got to be careful not to lose his life. Hardhome comes back in for the coconut. Will actually end up getting dropped first. Now Crusader, he'll drop second. JJ just going to make a run for it now as well. But it is a 1-for-1 trade so far for both teams. Unfortunately for the Radiant though, it was Crusader who got the first kill. And so that is a first blood going to the sniper, which is not very good news for the side of the Radiant. But regardless, they'll move back to their lane in this off lane and see if they can make something else happen. Actually, Brick gonna cop the coconut. Now the secondary stun as well, and he's in massive trouble. He does get the lift. They're gonna turn around for Crusader instead. But the side of the Dire do have to be very careful not to give up too many kills, because the thing is, they do have a dual stun lane. And with that, it basically means the coconut will go out, which will set up JJ for a secondary stun. And with that amount of stun, they might be able to just deal enough damage to be able to take down the sniper or the Rubik. They do have to be very wary of that. It's like JJ still being relatively aggressive in this off lane. We'll move to the mid lane right now and see what's going on there. So we do have the Kunkka versing Chaos Era right now, and well, it's a fairly even matchup. Actually, bot lane, Tidehunter getting very low a blow, trying to make a run for it. Nice avalanche comes in from Nao, but they're still making the chase, and it looks like Dolan will be able to find this kill for himself. Nao trying to find a return one, but he can't do so at this point. Level 2 Tiny, not the strongest hero in the world. Well, actually, he's pretty damn strong, but he needs a bit more levels to get that toss up and really be able to secure these kills. But yeah, like I was saying, the mid lane, I mean, it should be relatively even for both ends. Neither should really be dying unless there are some rotations coming in, but at the same time, because it is turbo mode, this Kunkka may be able to get enough levels to start dealing too much damage to deal with the Tidebringer. And even the Torrent Boat, all that magic damage may be too much for Chaos Era to have to sustain. But we'll see. As it stands right now, they're both just trading last hits relatively evenly. Looks like bot lane Ram actually going to go and look for Nao, and Dolan will get it started with the Shadow Strike. Nao does not actually have any mana to throw an avalanche out right now. And top lane, actually, they are finding more kills, although the sniper ends up dropping. It looks like the Witch Doctor managed to back off, and now Brick's the one in trouble. JJ gonna make the chase. We'll give up on that one, but they did manage to get Crusader down, which is a massive kill. Now mid lane, it looks like the Kunkka will connect with the X-Boat. Can he deal enough damage? The Torrent is there. Chaos got a long way to run. Where's the Tidebringer? It is up in just a moment, and he will find the kill. Beautifully done by the Kunkka mid. And again, once he hits that level 6, he makes something happen. And this is what I meant by the turbo mode. The level's going up so quickly on the Kunkka right now, it does mean he can take out this Dragon Knight, where in a normal mode, he probably shouldn't be able to. So we'll have to keep an eye on that mid lane, but top lane, Brick is making a run. JJ, though, he's in range for the stun, does end up connecting it as well, and a lucky bash. Can he find the last hit? It looks like the Melodic will do the job. Crusader now gets the Corrosive Haze put on him, and he's copping a lot of damage from JJ. Nice Rift comes in from Ram. He's going to try and help out, but JJ might just be able to outrun this, because Ram's really got no mana left. The Rift is on cooldown for a while, and he'll have to let this one go. But the Radiant offlane at the very least is doing a very good job at keeping Crusader down on that sniper. And like I mentioned at the start of the game, it's going to be very important to keep that up. Otherwise, the sniper can go a bit out of control. So well done to them for that. Now a blow bot lane. Going to be in trouble. He does cop the Shadow Strike again. It is a Tidehunter though. Should be relatively tanky. Nao comes in as well. Brick. He's going to have to back off. Dolan. He can be a bit more cheeky considering he does have the Blink Dagger available. They will continue farming, but it does look like there might be a re-engagement because Ram's coming in. A blow. He's in big trouble right now. The 2-second stun. They will find the kill. Nao has to get the hell out of there. He cops the rift, and it looks like he should just end up going down. He tries to turn around for a kill, but he was really nowhere near it. And we do see, of course, Hardhome coming in a bit late to the party, but he is here. Trying to help out his teammates. It's like mid lane again. The Torrent will connect onto Chaos, but he'll be okay. Of course, that Dragon Blood. A lot of regen coming in. And that's why I said he should be able to sustain this lane, but it is still relatively hard. With all this magical burst. And in fact, Kunkka might just go for this. He's got the boat up and running again. If Chaos overextends right now, he has to be careful not to get X'd. And bot lane as well. We do have a 3v3. In fact, it's more than 3v3. Nice Ravage comes out though. It does connect onto 2, but a blow. He really can't do much more. Nice stolen Ravage coming out from the Rubik Brick. He's going to try and back off, but that Death Ward dealing so much damage. They will eventually get him down. Hardhome's gone. Now the Tidehunter's gone as well. So even though they had a nice Ravage, the stolen one coming out from Brick really makes all the difference. And that's a 1-for-3 trade. And in fact, Kunkka in the mid lane ends up getting Chaos again with that X-Boat. He will get a tier 1 for himself. Now we do stand at a 5-9 with a 4k net worth coming in for the side of the Dire. I should apologize about any echo in the room right now. I am trying to fix that. I've got a new mic for it, in fact, but my apologies if it gets on anyone's nerves. It's like Kunkka gonna TP away just in time before Nao finds him. The avalanche was ready, but he wouldn't be able to see him up the stairs until he ran up them himself. Looks like the side of the Dire were looking for someone at the top lane to gank, and it would have been JJ, but he'd already backed off at that moment. And things finally slow down on the map 7 minutes in. I mean, generally you do not see 14 kills in 7 minutes, but that's what's happened this game. And I've got to say, I do love it. It doesn't really give us much time to go through the itemization of everyone. But then again, the itemization is going to go so fast anyway that it's not like we're really going to have the time. And top lane, actually, Brick, he gets caught out and does end up dropping, and now Nao joins in to maybe go for a kill himself. They do have some decent targets to go for, but well, if they want Dolan, they've got to pretty much perma-stun him. He could always go for the toss on either Hardhome or JJ to get in range for the stuns, but he doesn't do so quite yet. They might start now. They do blink in. JJ, he actually had a quick blink, and now the avalanche toss will be more than enough to take down Dolan. Ram tried to TP in, but he was bursted down very, very quickly. And that's one of those things when you have a Tiny, like even though it got nerfed recently, it's still one of those heroes that can burst you if he's required to. And actually Crusader somehow soloing a blow at the bot lane. That's not very normal. But it did happen apparently. A sniper versus Tidehunter 1v1. Kunkka, gotta be careful. They will start with the X onto Nao. The boat comes in. It will connect now. The 4-second stun as well. Can they burst him down? It's not quite enough quite yet. Now the Death Ward comes in from Hardhome. And nobody's really stunning him. He's just channeling it all the way. They will take down Ram. And now Dolan copping so much damage. He'll finally get the kill. Brick though, he's going to go down. Nice Ravage comes out. It's on to 3. And a blow. He really just changed the tide of the fight there. 4 down for the side of the Dire. They probably should not have allowed Hardhome to just channel that Death Ward the whole way, but they did do so. And now the tier 1 tower will be dropping very quickly, thanks to the Elder Dragon form. And they might even go for a tier 2 if they're really cheeky about it. In fact, all their blinks are starting to come up. They've got one on Nao, they've got one on Jay. They've even got one on the Tidehunter, a blow. So, I mean, it's one of those things where they're going to want to go for ganks right now. And this is the best time for them to do so. Obviously, because they've got all the initiation they need. We'll see how aggressive the side of the Radiant do want to get. Of course, though, I haven't talked about this much, but you've got to be very careful of this Kunkka. He completely dominated the mid lane, and if you look at his itemization, it's going to be pretty painful. He's going for the Daedalus builds. Again, it is one of those builds you can go for very early in this mode. And, well, he's already got he's got the Demon Edge now. He just needs the recipe for his first Daedalus 10 minutes into the game. And when that comes in conjunction with the Tidebringer, you do have to be very, very careful. Although, speaking of careful, mid lane, it looks like there might be some more action coming in. A blow does not have the Ravage. So even though he's found himself a double damage, I don't think this is the point where he wants to really make an attempt at anyone's life. They will go into the DK though from the Dire end, and with that boat, they might just burst him down. Chaos, he can't survive it. He will end up dropping very quickly. Now Crusader, actually Hardhome going to turn around and try to go for this himself. He will just get destroyed. And now the rest are coming in a bit too late though. Ram's going straight for the slider. Hardhome actually managed to get Crusader. Jay though, he will get a Siege Creep tossed into him and will end up dropping as well as a blow. And that was just 1 by 1 from the side of the Radiant. The gold change is absolutely massive. And that is a very, very questionable set of events coming out from this Radiant side. They're actually going to just take the tier 2 and even think about the tier 3 tower now. They can at least deal a bit of damage with this siege creep, I suppose. A toss into Dolan. Ram will go in, 3-second stun, but he'll have to back off now, and Kunkka decides to do the same. There's no real reason to overextend. They do have the net worth lead. And of course, they do have some crazy item progression going on with the Kunkka right now, so no need to go crazy. They can just delay the game a bit, try to get those items up. As you can see, Crusader, he's trying to get an MKB for himself as well. And like I said, itemization in this mode, pretty darn hard to follow. But we're going to try. Mid lane, the tier 1 tower will be under attack. It does look like Crusader will be there to try and defend this with the shrapnels. But he does have to be very wary of, you know, getting taken down. A blow, cops a 3-second stun, but nothing happens due to the status resist. Now he's actually going to Ravage, and will take 1 down, and they will take a second. So Ram and Crusader. Dolan comes in from the backlines apparently and finds a kill for himself with the Sonic Wave, but they will get 2 kills from the side of the Dire and a tier 1 tower, and that gold swing again is going to be massive for the other end this time around. And actually, Nao, what's he doing? Doing the old Shadow Amulet trick. Just going to wait for somebody, but they do know because the Sentry Ward is there, and now Dolan comes in, although there's a Shadow Blade now that he can use. And without Dust, they can't really continue that chase. And they will have to let him go. Looks like Dolan actually manages to get himself an Aghanim Scepter as well. Actually going for a Radiance build on the Queen of Pain, which is quite strange. I mean, I guess there's a lot of Shadow Blades being picked up on the side of the Radiant, but it's still a bit strange. I mean, you've got the Blink Daggers as well that you can cancel with that Radiance. I don't know, maybe it'll work. It's not something you ever see on a Queen of Pain, but it could be what he needs. We look to Kunkka again. He's almost got his second Daedalus now, and he is critting for over 1k without finishing that Daedalus yet. So we assume he'd probably be able to crit 1.5, 2k if he does manage to get the secondary and they both crit at the same time. It looks like bot lane, though, there might be a bit of action, and Kunkka really needs to be here right now, but he's not going to make it in time. Hardhome, though, he's going to be the first one there. He gets bursted down immediately, so no Death Ward for the Radiant, although here comes a blow and Chaos, dealing a lot of damage. JJ with the double stun as well. They almost take down Dolan. JJ's still chasing for this. Will he find it? No, he will not, but they will get Brick as well. So a 3 for 1. The only one they lose is their position 5 Witch Doctor, which I don't believe they'll mind. The side of the Dire, again, throwing another team fight away. You kind of have to have the Kunkka available in these team fights. I mean, he's going to be really the biggest damage dealer on the side of the Dire right now. More so than the CK can. And in fact, if you look at the CK, he's trying to go for a Midas, which is a very strange item choice for the mode. But nevertheless, let's see how it works. Tier 1 tower is under attack. Assassinate coming out. It will hit JJ. Now they get the X onto Chaos with the boat. Can they deal enough damage though? The Shadow Strike as well. Nice Torrent comes in onto 2. A blow. He will finally throw out that damn Ravage. And they will get Dolan. Now JJ very low, but he will try and back off. They did manage to take down Chaos. And well, the Kunkka, he does use that Tidebringer effectively. They will in fact find a third one, and it is Hardhome who will drop as the third, and in fact all those kills go to the Kunkka. And this is why you need the man there in the team fights. Because ultimately he can pretty much one-shot the Hardhome, I believe. In fact, he's almost at that point. But being able to take down half the HP of the whole opposing team with one swipe is a pretty damn effective kind of ability to have on your team. Side of the rating it though, Nao. He's got his full BKB up now as well. We see JJ, he goes for the Assault Cuirass, so we'll make it a bit more, I believe, actually does Tidebringer, I believe Tidebringer might actually ignore armor for the cleave. So that Assault Cuirass might just not be useful at all. But if they get the Tidebringer cleave going towards the rest of the team, I suppose we'll see. It is still a useful item to have against, you know, the CK and the Sniper anyway. It's never going to be bad, but actually Brick got an invis rune. Just following around the DK by the looks of it, so Chaos has to be a bit careful. There are heroes coming in. It looks like Dolan is there, but Nao is somehow on the cliff now, and they're going to start the team fight. The boat comes in. Where the hell is everyone? The Sonic Wave. Nice JJ with the stun, but not really enough damage coming out onto Ram. He's really tanking all of this. Meanwhile, Nao in the background taking down Crusader, who's trying to TP out now, but he does get avalanched and will get taken down as well as Ram. And Dolan, meanwhile, in the backlines just trying to make a run for it, as well as Brick, who has the TK Elder form now. Nao going to continue the chase. Does get lifted, so Brick turns around. He is very fast, but not as fast as Chaos with the Shadow Blade. As well as the Sanjin Yasha, of course. And it looks like he will actually connect the stun. They're going to try and take him down now. There's no lift available. And, well, he does have a Yule Scepter, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He will end up dropping, and now Dolan has to be very careful himself. There is a Soul Ring as well as a stun coming out. Dolan, will he be able to survive? It does not look like he will, and he will go down. And now the Tier 3 tower. Going to be the target of the side of the Radiant. So a very, very back and forth game, to say the least. And well, they should at least be able to get this tower. Dire do have to be careful not to go in one by one. Oh, Kunkka goes in, but the Tidebringer did not actually crit. Now Ram goes in, throws out the 3-second stun. Nao, though, with the BKB, he'll turn around, and Ram is in massive trouble. The boat comes in. Ravage actually only connects onto Ram. They will finally get that kill. Now Crusader going to be the next target. It looks like Kunkka's trying to help out here, but he's not getting lucky at all. He finally does. He crits a hell of a lot, and now they get 2 kills, but the Rax in the mid lane is already gone for the side of the Dire. So although they got this massive gold change of almost 6.5k, they do lose that mid-Rax. Mind you, the Kunkka does pick up a Divine Rapier. So that's going to be fairly handy in this game. Along with you know, the double Daedalus build. The question is, what is his next itemization? I mean, they are now behind 1 rack, so although it won't really affect him, considering he can just cleave the wave down in 1 hit, they do have to be very wary of that. It's like both teams will just commit to farming. And this will give us a bit of time to go through the items. We do actually see JJ. He gets an MKB. I mean, these items are very strange, but again, it's a fun mode. So it's just kind of like experimental fun. Just do whatever the hell you want. Nobody really cares. Of course, you still want to win. You never really want to lose in Dota, no matter what it is, but just about having a bit of fun. Looks like Brick will actually go straight for the Aghanim Scepter after that Yules and the Hood of Defiance. Top lane, they will actually find Dolan. With those stuns, they are able to permanently keep him there while they pretty much right-click him. Brick getting ready to defend the tier 2 tower. Ram, meanwhile, going to be found out by Nao. They will throw out the avalanche as well. JJ, they will be able to take him down. Brick wasn't there in time to help. He does lift up JJ, but it's not really going to be enough. Now Nao's going for him. Who also have they got? Crusader. He is forced to invis away. Where the hell's our Kunkka? We've got to keep an eye on this man.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
I want to see how much he can cleave and whether he can actually just right-click a team down. They will go again for Brick and Rubik, copping so much damage. Now the Ravage comes out as well. It's only onto 2 though. The Sniper in massive trouble. JJ finding all the kills, and again the Kunkka not interested in this. Understanding it's a pretty darn bad position for him and his team. Goes straight back to the mid lane. In fact, where the hell is he? He's in the fountain right now. Everyone has a courier, by the way. Didn't notice that.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
In fact, it's the same thing on the Radiant side. Everyone's just got a courier.
Dire's top tower.
They will go for this tier 3 tower at the top. No lucky crit again for the Kunkka.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And well, this top rack's not looking too healthy. It looks like Ram is ready to jump in. He has committed the Phantasm. They are going to go for what looks like Chaos, but he's so tanky. There's a nice Tidebringer coming out now. Dolan actually misses the DK due to the Rift, and now he's in trouble. The boat comes in though, and a beautiful Tidebringer coming out from the Kunkka. Dolan not going to be happy about that Reality Rift though. He could have bursted down the DK earlier, but nevertheless, and again Kunkka, that Tidebringer, finding the kill onto Hardhome. And this is one of those things, like, you've got to hate it if you're the position 5 Witch Doctor right now. Because there's nothing you can do but stay back across the rest of the map and hope you don't get hit by that cleave. But it is very, very painful to say the least.
Worthy tribute.
He is almost critting for 2k. The question is, will he go for another Rapier? I think he should. But we'll see. He finds himself a double damage rune. So that's a positive. Now he's getting critting for 2.3k. And yeah, he'll go for the secondary Rapier. He really wants to be able to just one-click people down. And I can't really blame him. He does have to be very wary though. The side of the Radiant, if they find that kill, will get themselves 2 free Rapiers. And you give it to someone like the DK or even Nao on the Tiny, it's gonna hurt a lot. So do have to be very, very wary of that. And of course the Kunkka does have to make sure he's on top of pretty much staying alive. Ram, meanwhile, still seems to be struggling with farm. Like, he really has nothing in comparison to the rest of the players on both sides. He has gone for this rather strange build, and like I said, I didn't agree with the Midas to begin with. It just doesn't really make any sense in a turbo game. Looks like meanwhile the Radiant side are going to go straight for the Roche Pit. And they are taking it very, very quickly indeed. A blow is just going to stand outside with that Aghanim Scepter Gush. And assists his team with the minus defense with that Gush. And now they are going to go straight through that mid again and try to find themselves a pick-off. It does appear Crusader does understand that they're coming due to the fact that they have an Observer Ward sitting right in the mid lane. Well, with the Aegis, they might be able to find their third and final racks and get those Mega Creeps. Mind you though, there is still a tier 2 bot tower sitting there. But JJ's on top of that. Although they've got to be very careful. The Kunkka almost takes JJ out completely. 3/4 of his HP gone. Again, I'm not sure if that was actually a crit. I don't think it was, to be perfectly honest. But here we go again. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay, that was a crit. 2.6k, Nao and a blow are gone. Now they're going to go straight onto Chaos. And he's in massive trouble. He's surrounded right now. The Death Ward comes out, but the bow takes out the Aegis. Now Hardhome still channeling the Death Ward, but it does nothing. And here comes Kunkka to take him out. Chaos, he respawns, but he's left all alone. And he's just going to get taken out. The only man to survive is JJ, who was already backing off from the first cleave. And an almost 10k worth of a gold swing now, going to the way of the Dire. It's kind of ridiculous. So 25 minutes in, already longer than your standard game for Turbo. Looks like they will find JJ in the mid lane. And they will get him. He was pretty close to getting them himself. He had a Divine Rapier, in fact. In fact, no, that was the Kunkka's Divine Rapiers who ended up dying. I didn't even notice that. And he will be able to return them back to the Kunkka. That's one of those things you got to be very careful of. Even the Slardar, like you give him 2 Divine Rapiers like that, he's going to start hitting like an absolute truck.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Again, we'll keep an eye on both teams, but what I was trying to say is this is already pretty much longer than a normal Turbo game. The Radiant are just hoping to get that last racks. But even then, even if they do, there's so much wave clear from the side of the Dire that it does not mean that the game's over. So they do have to be wary that, you know, they're probably going to have to get Megas and then go for an Ancient. Ram might get caught out. Chaos will go in. The stun was not there quite yet, but they will eventually get it, and he will just get bursted down. So a nice gank coming out from the side of the Radiant, and now they are going to focus on that last racks finally. Chaos. Brick showing himself for just a moment. A blow. As the Guardian Greaves and the Blade Mail up, Assassinate will go out onto Chaos. He won't really care about it. Sniper is not hitting that hard onto Chaos, but he is hitting very fast, and that's one thing to worry about. Mind you, Chaos does not have that Aegis anymore. But he's going around from the back, and he gets Tidebringer down. You can't really do that with a Kunkka. It's actually pretty hilarious to watch. Like, even if he doesn't crit, the damage is still insane. Like, he's still hitting for normally over a K. So even that fact, like, you've got to have over a K to survive his normal Tidebringer hit. And then, God forbid, he crits. And the Radiant, they will just stick around, it looks like. Try to just stay alive and maybe wait for Chaos to be back up. Perhaps they'll wait for the next Roshan, which is in fact up right now. And they will just get started on that instead. It is a big loss for the Dire to allow this to happen, but At the same time, they don't really feel safe to leave. They are starting to place sentry wards down due to the fact that there's so many Shadow Blades on the side of the Radiant, but we'll see. Do I think they're really worried about the Aegis? Probably not. Like I said, they can pretty much burst down a whole team right now with one hero. So that Aegis may just not last. And at the same time, I mean, you know, Nao is meant to be jumping in there and getting in the middle of all the team fight, initiating for the team as well. But with that Aegis, he may not feel so safe to do so. Like, you think he would, but they might just kill him straight away and then just be able to kill him a second time. We're gonna see. There will be an X coming out. Is there anyone going to drop from this? Almost. Chaos loses half his HP to a normal strike. Looks like they will end up smoking up now. They're going to run through. The sentry will do nothing against the smoke. Dolan will finally find him though, and now here comes Crusader with all that damage. They will be able to take him out, but the Ravage is massive. Almost hits everybody. But JJ, look at the damage he's dealing. Now the bow comes in as well, and there's the damn Tidebringer. He does get the crit that time around. Hardhome, the only one left. In fact, no, Nao actually ends up respawning. Brick will make the chase. They do have the sentry ward there. The lift back into it as well. And the X, and well, Kunkka, will he find this last right click? He probably just could. The toss back, and actually Kunkka will blink back himself. He does not want to die and lose those rapiers again. But a full team wipe comes out for the side of the Dire. And they've got to be loving it right now. We're 30 minutes in to this game. You can see Kunkka actually getting an Aeon Disc just in case. You can't really blame him, but he is going to run straight down mid. He can, of course, take the tier 3 himself. Like, it's no problem. He just needs the creeps with him. And they will get started. Pretty much 3 strikes from the Kunkka, and now the racks won't last really much longer either. And Crusader actually going to stick around a bit. Has to be careful about that. Yeah, we'll just take the racks and back off. The game is still, well, Chaos actually asking some questions, but I think Chaos is actually trying to bait them into sticking around and maybe giving the rapiers away. Of course, the side of the Dire not falling for it. They are very careful. That's what you gotta love about Dota. No matter what mode you're in, people still just want to win. There's no real, there's never a mode where you feel like losing. That's really the beauty of the game.
I'll take that.
JJ. Okay, it looks like him and Chaos are gonna try and make something happen. They are running through the jungle, trying to find anybody really to pick off. And now they're pretty much grouped up with their team. Or Crusader made it obvious where he was. JJ might just blink in. He does find Dolan instead. Can they burst him down? It looks like they almost can, but again, they get bursted down themselves. 3 down for the side of the Radiant, and it just happened so quickly that you didn't really see what it was that caused all the damage, but I can almost guarantee I know what it was, and it's this ability right here. Mid lane, actually, who have they found? They found Nao. He's already copped so much that Tidebringer came in the last second. One more hit would have done it, but they couldn't really hold him in place long enough, although they are running through the mid lane now. Will they go straight for an Ancient, or are they going to go for another Rax? Because the tier 2 at the top and bot are still there. Top lane, actually, Nao, he's actually found one Crusader. He is the target. He's going to turn around, though, and he will take him out. But the tree throw will get him as well. Nice little play from the Tiny, but it wasn't worth his death. He's got no buyback available. So the tier 4s are being hit up. They are going to jump in. JJ commits the BKB. In fact, that was an 8-second BKB he has committed. Brick will get caught out, but he really won't mind dying as the Rubik. He does have an Aeon Disc just in case. Now the Ravage comes out, does connect onto 2. The Sonic Wave also did come out, but they can't really find anyone to kill. The Bow will make it even harder. The 4-second stun onto JJ. Now they're going to turn this around. Dolan, he's dealing so much damage, and here comes the Kunkka with the 2.8k crit. A blow will be the next target. Now Chaos comes in, and it's absolute chaos as it stands hard. He's actually dealing so much damage with that Death Ward. It looks like he did pick up an Aghanim Scepter, and now Kunkka will lose his life, and those Divine Rapiers are going to be pretty nice for the opposing side. And kids, if you're in a pub game, and you're up against a Witch Doctor, and you notice the Death Ward is bouncing around, definitely try and at least stun the Witch Doctor. Don't let him channel that all the way, because when he's got an Aghanim Scepter, it does a hell of a lot of damage. Like, way too much to sustain. And even if it doesn't, over that period where he's channeling it, if he does manage to get it all the way for 8 seconds, it's gonna hurt. So please disable the Witch Doctor. It looks like Nao now running through the mid lane himself. Roshan will be taken. Dolan will jump in straight onto Nao, and they're going to be able to take him out. In fact, maybe not. He does BKB away, but Dolan keeps up the vision onto him, and they will get him in the end. The rest of his team weren't around. They were taking the Roshan at a safe time, really, but I mean, they've got to be wary not to give kills away like that. Like Nao dying for no real reason. If that happens too many times at this stage of the game, I mean, it could just end the game. We'll have to keep an eye now onto Chaos, who has 2 of the Divine Rapiers of the Kunkka now as well. Mind you, the Kunkka appears to be getting another Divine Rapier. By the way, in case anyone's wondering, obviously I'm calling Kunkka Kunkka because I don't really want to say that name, because it may be offensive to some viewers. Not that I really care, but you know, I'm just saying, probably shouldn't say it every 2 seconds. Just in case anyone was wondering. Look, the side of the die now. Do not actually want to leave their base at all. They are being very defensive. But I can't blame them, especially at this point. Like, look at this. He's hitting for over, well, not over, but he's hitting about 900 damage per right click now on Chaos. He has enough gold for a 3rd Divine if he really wanted to, but he's kind of run out of space. So the scan will actually scan them out. The Dire, are they going to go for anything? Kunkka, he has X'd himself, but won't do anything. They will rotate down to the bot lane. Ram getting ready to jump in. He does have a full heart now. They will get the stun up, and it won't really be enough quite yet, but the DK copying too much damage. Nice Ravage comes out. It is onto 3. Now the Death Ward as well. Channeled up all the way, and Ram can't survive this. Brick will be the next target. He's copying too much. He'll go down as well. Looks like Crusader comes back in, and look at that damn Tidebringer. 2.7k crit. It takes pretty much everyone out. Hardhome's the only person left. In fact, no, JJ comes back in with the stun, but I don't know if he can survive this. Now the Melody comes out again, and Hardhome, he will drop as well as the Slardar, and the Divine Rapiers are on the deck. In fact, Nao? What's he doing in the back there? Well, he's been found out now. The X, the Torrent comes in. Will he get a crit? No, he will not. In fact, he'll miss. A 5-second stun comes out from Ram, and the Sonic Wave will finish it off. And the Divine Rapiers will be returned back to their rightful owner. 3 divines now. And I mean, you thought the game may have been over because he gave 2 divines away, but it's not the case. They were able to bring it back. And they'll even give one to Ram. So Ram's finally got a bit of damage going for him. He's going to be feeling good about that. Obviously, with the Phantasm Illusions, it does even more. And again, they are running through mid. Do see our Witch Doctor still holding on to the cheese and the Refresher Shard, so he didn't actually use them at all. Refresher Shard probably should have been given to the Tidehunter with that for that double Ravage, but it isn't the case. They are going to jump in. Nice stun comes out from JJ. He BKBs up, and actually he's going to take down the Kunkka. So all the Divines are on the deck again. Now a blow. He finally throws out the Ravage, and will find one. They'll leave the Divines there. It looks like Kunkka, he does end up buying back because he needs to defend. Nao is in the base right now. And the Rubik almost down. Brick, he's in a lot of trouble, but he will be able to walk it off, it looks like, back into the fountain. But Nao is diving him. Now the lift as well. Chaos, meanwhile, in massive trouble. He will go down, and the Tiny does actually end up dropping. Brick baits him all the way into the fountain. And does manage to find the kill and survive on his own. Very well played to him. And now 2 down for the side of the Radiant. And it's 2 big calls as well. So here comes the run down mid lane. Where the hell are the Divine Rapiers though? They aren't the JJ, so now he's the carry on the team. They've actually given one to Hardhome as well. I don't think we'll see Hardhome right clicking, but you never really know. Gush does end up coming through, and now JJ jumps in onto Dolan, and he gets ripped apart. Look at that right-click damage coming in from the Slardar. And may I remind people, this is a turbo game. So this is a pretty darn long turbo game that we're seeing here. Both teams, I wouldn't go as far as saying playing out of their minds, but I mean, it's really back and forth, so at the very least, it's very entertaining. Top lane, Brick was in a bit of trouble, but does end up backing off successfully thanks to the lift. The Refresher Shard still on the Witch Doctor. I don't think Hardhome's really going to be able to channel the Death Ward for 16 seconds straight. I doubt the team fight would last that long anyway, had he been able to channel an 8-second Death Ward. But you never know. He's got the best of both worlds. He's got the right click. He's got the ulti just in case. Again, the Dire aren't willing to leave this the base. And the Radiant continue to be very aggressive in their positioning. JJ apparently looking for his own Divine Rapier. So he wants a third. He does not actually... Well, he doesn't even have buyback at 8.5k gold right now. And that is due to that buyback change that we saw. Which is pretty darn ridiculous if you think about it. Like, he needs 9k to buy back. The Roshan will be taken down. And this is the 4th Roshan of the game now. It is taking a lot longer to take down, but they'll get it. Another Refresher Shard, another Cheese, another Aegis. Who the hell's picking it up? They're running out of slots now. Hardhome, what's he got? He's got 2 Refresher Shards now, so they really don't want to give one to a blow. He's got a Refresher Orb sitting there. It looks like the pings are coming out. A blow does want one. And he will finally get one. So Hardhome says, here you go, good sir. I don't understand the logic behind that. They probably should just give all of them to the Tidehunter to have like unlimited Ravages right now, but they haven't done so quite yet. I mean, he could literally Ravage 4 times. And that's a guaranteed probably game winner right there. We see the Conqueror again, trying to farm up those Divine Rapiers. He is set. Once you're on this path of Divine Daedalus, you never really go back. Like, there's no going back from that. You just need to keep buying Divines. Because then you got to take out the enemies, which do have Divine Rapiers as well. Crusader welcoming them into the base. JJ looking a bit hesitant. Nao is ready. And again, we sit at this standstill. 44 minutes in. And X does come out. They've got to be very wary of this. And no, actually, he doesn't get the right click off. Now, they do get the stun onto Nao. The fight will start. Here comes the Ravage, but it connects on all three of them. And now a blow keeps going with it. It's just, can he get even more? The Aeon Discs are all over the place. Can they deal the damage? A blow. He's copying a bit himself. And actually, who's even winning this team fight? It's a 1-for-1, now a 1-for-2 Brick. He'll be the next target. Meanwhile, Chaos takes down Ram in the back lines. And again, they're trying to bait them into the fountain. Crusader just man-fighting right now. He does commit the Hurricane Pike. A blow can't actually move forward. He will end up dropping. And now Tiny, the only man left in the base, he will end up getting critted down. Chaos comes back in for those Divine Rapiers. They do seem to see him. Assassinate will connect, but that'll be it. A very messy team fight indeed. It does appear the die have come through. Kunkka is asking the real question here. How many Divines do we have? In fact, maybe we should just quickly count them. So we don't have any on the Radiant side. In fact, we do have 2 on Chaos. So there's 2 on Chaos. There's 2 on the Kunkka. And alright, so full Divine Rapier so far. I could have sworn there was more than that. But apparently I'm wrong. So we see DK versus the Kunkka. Once again, the mid lane matchup really back, or Brick I should say, having enough of this game. He just starts hitting the tier 4s himself. Perhaps he should think about getting a Divine on that Rubik. I mean, he is hitting really for nothing on these towers. And again, both teams very quiet right now. Brick is asking why he just found a gem laying on the in the base, which I believe it was right around there. It is a valid question. And Chaos as well asking why there's Divines all over the map. That is, in fact, there's a Divine. What the hell's that doing there? Well, okay. So there's 6 Divines on the map. They'll give one to Crusader. So Crusader gets his chance to deal some damage. Mind you, he's been doing a fair bit, even though he doesn't have any of the Divines. But now with at least one of them, he'll be able to do something a bit more so than he has been. But that is 6 Divines on the map. So we were missing those 2 that were just sitting there initially. Unless there's more and we just can't find them. Looks like our Slardar is still queuing up to get one himself. The Dire are so defensive right now. They're just not interested in leaving this base at all until they have a full team wipe. Look to the buyback status for just a moment, and really there's nobody. There's only 4 heroes on the map with buyback. None of which are really good at defending. So neither team can really afford to lose this this next team fight. Roshan up again? Alright, so there's a Roshan up again. They'll even find themselves a double damage to make it faster. He probably should pull Corrosive Haze, and there we go. Poor Roshan. This is the 5th time he's getting taken down this game. A blow. Just take the refresher shard, good sir. So we do have the Tiny with the triple Ravage. And the Kunkka is obviously getting somewhat annoyed now that the Roshan is being taken down 5 times this game, which is fair enough. We do see our 7th Divine Rapier as well coming up on JJ. It is in his stash right now, rather than on the hero. Maybe it's just an emergency Rapier in case he needs it later on. Crusader actually hurting quite a lot with those right clicks. He has got a Satanic as well, so it's not going to be easy to kill him. Unless they can really keep him disabled all the time. There will be an X coming out. Where's the Kunkka? They are going in, and the Tidebringer... Oh, he couldn't get the right click off. Hardhome going to be counting his blessings, but they will jump in with Dolan, and they still can't find the kill. Now the Ravagers come in. It actually does connect onto 3. The secondary as well. Where's the third one? There it is. Oh, these poor heroes just can't move right now, although here comes Brick to steal the Ravagers. They didn't use Anchor Smash afterwards. Now Crusader just trying to man-fight again. They will jump in with JJ with a massive 3-man stun. Dolan, he needs to make a run for it. There's 2 heroes dead on his team. There's the third. How can they really save this? There's only 2 heroes left. It's really all up to this Kunkka, who will end up dropping, and now Dolan's the only one left. There's Divines everywhere, and this game is still not over, apparently. Fortification. Can they stop this? Dolan fearing them away right now. The Ancient, it will end up going down, and at 49 minutes and 56 seconds into the game, we'll finally see it end. And, you know, I'm not sure which team we were supposed to be following, but that was a hell of a game. Shout out to everyone in the game. Thank you, Thomas, for providing the pub game for me. It was very entertaining indeed to watch. Probably should have asked which player you were in game prior to casting it, but anyway, thanks everyone for watching. For anyone that was wondering, the next time we'll be casting a pro tournament, me and John, that is, will be ESL Birmingham. So we'll see you then. I guess until then, we'll probably just be casting pub games and practicing up for that. But thanks for watching, guys. Always a pleasure. You guys have a great day ahead.